Hi guys, how you doing? Here we go. So for a couple of the last RLOs, number 4 and number 6, it's going to be a college essay. And this is just a narrative essay, so you're just writing about yourself like we've done before. But it's also following an outline, again, like you've done before. These are very short essays. They're 250 to 500 words, so you got to keep it real short. Um, but before you jump in and start working on them, I wanted to talk through the, I guess, college process, but more like just the continuing education process. So, what I have for you, I have a PowerPoint that I'm going to link with this, but this is going to be a video of me talking through it. So I believe my face is still down on the bottom, but we'll see. So this is a presentation that I usually gave students, and I'm kind of bummed I can't give it to you. I hope that it is helpful. I just want this to be a resource where you can kind of do your own exploring and figure out what your steps after your senior year will be. Part of why I think this is so important is if you spend no time thinking about what comes after graduation, until next fall, you're going to be it's going to be an interesting challenge where you're going to be trying to enjoy your senior year, but you're also going to be thinking, okay, what's next? And you're going to try to juggle those things. So it can be difficult. So if we plan a little bit now, you'll be more prepared and you won't have to do it all next year. An important note before really diving into all this is I am not saying that you all should go to a 4-year college and get a bachelor's degree. That is not at all what I want. Um, some of you, that's exactly what you should do, and you're excited about it. Some of you, not at all. I watched a couple family members feel like they had to. Kind of my generation, we were all told you need a 4-year degree if you're going to get a job. And so members of my family went and they spent a year or however long at a 4-year university, and they weren't able to really find something that they loved, and they ended up being way more successful through a different avenue. So I'm not saying that you need to go to a 4-year college. That is not what I think or believe. You don't need a bachelor's degree. But I do really encourage some form of continuing education or training. So whatever that looks like for you. Okay, I checked to make sure that that worked, and it does. Oh no, wrong button. Okay. So when we're talking about options, this is something that we're shown often, that the further you get in your educational goals, so graduating from high school, you'll make more money than if you didn't, and you're less likely to be unemployed. If you get a little bit of college, those numbers go up. So this is looking kind of right here. There we go. So here your wage is going up, and you're less likely to be unemployed. Associate's degree, same thing. Bachelor's degree, same thing. And so just statistically, the further your education goes up, kind of the better off you are job-wise. This does not mean that someone who only graduates from high school cannot make more than someone who has a doctorate degree. Like, very much depends on the person, depends on the situation. These are statistics; they are not like definitive. But I think this helps me at least think it helps to get some sort of further training or further education. So this kind of is what motivates me, and my hope that you guys can figure out what comes next. Not necessarily a college, but like some sort of training or education. So one of the options that's pretty good is a trade school. And throughout this presentation, there's going to be a lot of information about GRCC. Throughout the past few years, I've worked with different admissions counselors from GRCC, and so know a lot about what they have to offer. And they're more local, and they kind of offer all of the options for like continuing education. So I'm going to reference them a bunch, but I tried to pull other schools in like our area. There are more beyond that. So there's so much you can look into. These are just good examples that are a little more local. So GRCC has a trade school, and these programs last about 20 weeks. So you're not going to school for 3 years, 4 years. It's just 20 weeks, and it's going to be hands-on training. And the way that they set it up is about 34 hours a week. You have hands-on training. And then afterwards, they're going to help you find a job. So the programs they offer are right here. They've got automotive tech, computer support tech, construction, electrical, introduction to construction, machinist, CNC, medical assistant, residential construction, welding, and craft brewing. This one's always one that my students get very intrigued by. It's kind of a newer program that they've set up at GRCC just because Grand Rapids has so many breweries. So there's a lot of science and chemistry actually involved in making beer. So very interesting programs that they have. These are only 20 weeks, and then you can get a job pretty much right away. So this is great training for if you have like a specific career that kind of falls into these categories. It'd be a great option. If you go to the tech center, your teachers, you probably have some certifications already, or you're going to be getting some next year if you're continuing to be at tech. So you might already have some stuff that will set you up to already be set for trade schools. This is something, talk to your teachers, connect with them, figure out what sort of certifications you have and what other ones you could get after graduation that would help you get a career in whatever field you're interested in. So trade school, a lot of options there. There are certifications in a lot of different careers, and it's really easy to research online what is out there. So I found this website, I think last year. So if you guys want to look into trade schools, this might be a good place to start just to research what is out there, what kind of programs and which schools. There are some trade schools that are specific to just like one field. So like an automotive tech program, diesel tech program, electrical, welding, HVAC, plumbing, construction. So it can get pretty specified depending on the school. So this would be a good place to start some of your research. You might already know of a few. If you go to Tech Center, your teachers might have some recommendations. So definitely something to look into now. And then also don't forget about like beauty schools. If you are interested in being a cosmetologist or a hairstylist, there are a lot of different beauty school certifications throughout West Michigan. You just got to do some research to find them. Here we go. Another option, so if you're not thinking trade school and you would like to go to college for just a couple years, you could get an associate's degree. So an associate's degree is a 2-year degree. So that's what this one is, important vocab term. We used to do a vocab quiz on these terms, but now we can't. So an associate's degree is 2 years. And they qualify you for specific careers. There's not an associate's degree offered in any kind of a career field, only certain ones. So GRCC does offer associate's degrees. They have a culinary degree. So if you're interested in culinary arts, you want to be somewhere in the restaurant industry, they have a really good culinary program. I have a friend actually who teaches over there. She's a dietitian, and so very good program. They have a criminal justice program that's also very good, and they're also connected to Ferris State University, and Ferris has a really great criminal justice program. So you could get just an associate's through GRCC. They have accounting or business, computer programming, dental, music, nursing, occupational therapist, assistant, and more. This is like their catalog that would have all their associate's degrees. Their nursing program at GRCC is very, very popular. I will tell you that. There is, you get into GRCC, but then you have to apply for the nursing program. So if you're interested in nursing, that's something to really plan ahead for so you can apply. I think there's a waiting list to get into that program. And also really great, GRCC is located right downtown, so they're very close to a lot of hospitals for nursing and occupational therapy. So a lot of good connections there with their associate degrees. There are also some associate degrees offered through Davenport. So if you're interested in Davenport, that's another local school that has associate degrees. Theirs are in accounting, business, finance, and legal studies. So theirs are a little more specific, but here's where you can find some information on Davenport's. What you are probably most familiar with is a bachelor's degree. So a bachelor's degree is a 4-year degree. Right here, this is kind of that traditional college experience that you think of. So it's a 4-year degree from a college or university. Sometimes you can earn an associate's degree and then transfer to university to work on a bachelor's, but you're not usually going to do both. You're going to do one. So you're either going to pursue a bachelor's or pursue an associate's. So as far as bachelor's degrees go, GRCC does not have a bachelor's degree that they offer. But what they do, they offer gen ed courses you can take. So those are the general education courses that every student has to take when they go through school. You can take them at GRCC for cheaper, and then you can transfer to a different university to complete your bachelor's degree. And I know that GRCC works really closely with Ferris, Kendall. Kendall's an art school in Grand Rapids, and then also GVSU. So if you were interested in maybe getting your bachelor's from GVSU, you could start at GRCC, get some cheaper classes, and then transfer to GVSU, and they would know, which classes you should take in order to be able to transfer. If you're going for a bachelor's, you do have to choose a major. So this is like your number one area of study. Sometimes people double major, which is a lot of courses that you have to take. And one time I even met a triple major. So you could do a lot there. You can also pick up a minor. And a major would be like a lot of credit hours. So you would take a lot of classes in that course. So I received an English major from Hillsdale College, and that meant that I took a lot of English classes. Minor, I also received a history minor. So I took quite a few history classes, but not nearly as many as I took English classes. So that was a minor. And every school is a little bit different for what their course requirements are for their majors, and you can research that online. So if you're interested in GVSU, you could look into their majors, whatever course or program they have, and it would tell you how many credit hours you would need for each major and what specific classes you would need within that major. Once you are kind of pursuing a major, you're not on your own. You're going to have an academic advisor that you can work with, so you can choose which classes to take which semester in college and like when you should register for them. So once you're enrolled in a school, you'll have some support in making sure that you're getting all the classes you need. But it's pretty fun in college that you have like the option to choose which classes. I will say this term gen ed, general education courses, this would be, even if you want to do something in the sciences, so you want to go like pre-med, you're still going to need to take an English class. So just about every freshman will take very similar classes. There'll be like an English 101, a math 101, so kind of entry level to make sure that you've got your math, your English. The college I went to, I had to do like a foreign language, I had to do sciences and history, like there's a whole bunch I had to do. But gen ed, those are courses that everyone has to take, regardless of major. So once you get through the gen ed, then you can really focus on whichever classes you want to take. Let me check my time real quick. Okay, I got a couple more minutes and then I'll get cut off, so I'll keep cruising. So in this presentation here, I put in some links for where you can look at the programs of West Michigan schools. So you can look into Hope College, see what programs they have: Grand Valley, Western Michigan, Ferris State, Calvin, Aquinas, Kendall, Davenport, Cornerstone. I think that's it. Yeah. That's not all the colleges that exist. Like, you can look up any school that you're interested in. You can go out of state, whatever you might want. I will say that if you're going out of state, there's usually an out-of-state tuition fee, so they're going to charge you a little bit more if you're out of state. But again, depends on the school. So it takes a little research and looking into. And another option, before I cut this off, there are a lot of schools that offer online courses for bachelor's or master's degrees. So I actually completed my master's online. It was totally online. My husband just finished his bachelor's online. So there's a lot of different schools that you can work through. And it's a really good option if you are looking to work full-time, or if you have like family obligations, you can't like go to a school, or if you don't want to have to like commute, like drive to a school or have to pay for like a room. So it's a really good option. It's a little bit cheaper, but it can be very difficult, this point right here. If you are not in a class face-to-face with a teacher, it can be an extra challenge. So you have to be self-motivated to complete your coursework, or to seek out those answers if you're getting stuck. So online education can be a big challenge, but it is an option. And if you're interested, you want to do some research, there's a lot of schools that offer totally online degrees. You could also do like partially online. So like I know, I think Cornerstone does like half online and half in class. So a lot of different options here. There's a lot of out-of-state schools that offer online degrees. Definitely worth looking into. All right, I'm about to get cut off, so I'll be back for part 2.